Once upon a time, in the sun-dappled kingdom of Veril, King Alaric and Queen Isme longed for a child. At last their prayer was heard. Trumpets sang, bright banners streamed from every tower, and warm candlelight flickered through the corridors, while the people waited and whispered. In quiet places, true hearts learn to see beyond faces. When the newborn prince was carried into the hush of the chamber, all bent close. He was small, with a single tuft of hair that stood up like a soft feather, and a nose a touch too large for his tender face. Yet his eyes shone clear and clever, bright as stars seen through window glass at night. A green-cloaked fairy stepped from the lamplight and spoke, her voice gentle as a bell. Though plain of face, the child would have a quick mind and a wise heart, she said. And when he came of age, he might bestow his wit upon the one he loved best. The king bowed. The queen held the baby close, soothed by the promise. They named him Ray, and the court fondly called him Ray with the tuft.
And prosperous reign.
Ray grew as the fairy foretold. He solved riddles before he could read, and his questions sparkled like sunlight on a stream. Courtiers laughed at his bright jokes, and even tutors left with smiles. Yet sometimes, in the cool garden shade, whispers stung more sharply than thorns, and children's teasing pricked like nettles. Ray learned that wit could win laughter, but not always love. The queen watched from a balcony, the scent of roses in the air, and wondered if wisdom alone could keep her son warm. Beyond the silver mountains lay Armandia, where a gracious king and queen were blessed with twin daughters. On their christening day, the same green-cloaked fairy stood by the silver cradle, where lavender drifted in the sunlit room. To the elder, she granted the power to bestow beauty upon the one she loved best. To the younger, she granted the power to bestow intelligence upon the one she loved best. The elder, Princess Clarice, grew fairest of all, her hair like spun gold and her smile like morning. Yet lessons puzzled her, and songs slid past her like wind. The younger, Princess Leonore, was plain of feature, yet her talk danced and dazzled. When she spoke, listeners forgot the rest, charmed by the quick music of her mind. Years turned softly. Clarice's beauty drew many eyes, but her heart felt lonely. One warm spring morning, she slipped away from courtly chatter and wandered into a quiet hunting forest, where birch leaves trembled and a brook whispered over mossy stones. That same day, Ray, now 20, followed a deer path for a breath of peace. He stepped into the very glade where Clarice sat, and the pine-sweet air grew still. They greeted one another, and spoke at first of birdsong and light, then of hopes and hidden sorrows. Ray's words were kind and lively, never heavy, and Clarice listened with new eagerness, like a thirsty flower finding rain. At last, Ray said gently, "Princess, I see a sadness behind your smile. Would you wish for understanding to match your beauty?" She breathed, "More than anything." He told her the fairy's gift. He could share his wit with the one he loved. "Only this," he added softly. "In a year's time, be free to marry me if your heart inclines. No force, only freedom." Clarice hesitated, then gave her word. When his hand touched hers, a golden warmth flooded her mind like sunlight clearing fog. Words came easily, thoughts leapt bright and true, and the glade seemed to shimmer with quiet joy.
Indeed, The parallels are quite striking.
From that day, Armandia marveled. Clarice spoke with scholars, traded thoughts with ministers, and wrote verses that danced from salon to salon. The glow of candle flames seemed brighter when she read them aloud. Handsome princes came not only for her face, but for her conversation. Yet Clarice's heart was not decided. Gratitude tugged one way, desire another. She remembered the tender steadiness in Ray's eyes and the gentle strength of his promise, and still she wondered where true love was waiting. In Varel, Ray gave himself to good work. He learned the patient art of listening in counsel, the calm of choosing well. The scent of ink and parchment drifted through the study where he planned for his people, and he waited without despair. When the appointed day came round at last, Clarice walked in the royal orchard, the air sweet with apple blossom, her thoughts rustling like leaves. She knew that the very gift she had received allowed her to look past surface bright and plain, and to see the heart that had comforted hers. In quiet places, true hearts learn to see beyond faces. At sunset, she mounted her horse and rode toward Varel, the sky painted gold and rose. Ray stood in the quiet glade where they had first spoken, while evening birds called from the branches. Clarice dismounted and came to him, her pulse quick and warm. As she looked upon him, something gentle happened. The edges of his face softened, his eyes shone brighter, and the brave little tuft gleamed like a small crown. Whether magic moved or love opened her sight, she could not say. She only knew what her heart saw. "Prince Ray," she said, voice steady as the brook, "I come of my own free will. I love you not for the wit you gave me, but for the kindness that offered it. Will you take my hand?" Joy rose in Ray's eyes. As their fingers intertwined, the fairy in the green cloak appeared once more, her mantle shimmering like dewdrops in twilight. "Children of two kingdoms," she said, "you have found the truest magic, not beauty or wit alone, but the power to see beyond the surface. May your union teach it to all." The wedding bells rang across valleys and towers, and both realms rejoiced. Flowers perfumed the air, and music drifted under starry windows. King Alaric and Queen Isme, and the King and Queen of Armandia, smiled to see their children happy. "I pledge you a marriage of kindness and equality," said Clarice. "And I to you, my princess," said Ray, with his whole heart. Leonore composed a playful poem for the feast, and laughed that one day she might use her own gift when a worthy soul appeared. Together, King Ray and Queen Clarice ruled with both wisdom and compassion. Their court prized conversation more than jewels. Scholars and artists sat beside nobles, and children learned that mind and heart together make a kingdom shine. In quiet places, true hearts learn to see beyond faces. Some said a spell reshaped Ray's face that night. Others said only Clarice's gaze had changed. Those who knew them best did not worry over it. They heard their laughter, saw their fair judgments, and felt the good they brought. True love sees with the heart.
That is wonderful news indeed.